so moving over to video number 2, so I'm just talking about the Robert Buckland review into trying to get more autistics into work, and how fewer than 3 in 10 autistics is in work compared to around half of all disabled people and 80% of non-disabled. So among autistic people have the lowest rate of employment out of all groups in society. And I was saying in my previous video how that doesn't come as a surprise to me, just based upon the core features of autism, why it would be difficult for a lot of autistic people to work in a capitalist framework. There are other types of meaningful work which aren't exploited for profit, and autistics can be very productive in their own way, but in a capitalist framework it is very hard for an autistic to be profitable just because of the nature of autism. Self-directed, not competitive, finding it hard to follow other people's instructions, maybe a bit demand avoidant, often having extreme anxiety. All of these things can make it hard to be employable. Not having the right social skills, not being able to do teamwork, not being able to connect, rigidities, all of those things. By the way, lots of autistic people do volunteering, which isn't exploited for profit, because lots of autistic people really do enjoy being productive and they want to be doing things and they want to be active. The problem comes if the problem is around autism not fitting neatly into capitalist market economics. That's where the issue is, and that's why many autistics just cannot be employed conventionally. Businesses, employment organisations, support groups and autistics will all be asked for testimony on the barriers they face. Buckland and the Minister for Disabled People, Tom Persglove, say that employers need to stop seeing autism as a drawback and start recognising it as an asset. Again, you might think, well, what's wrong with that? But it's very ideological. Of course, we shouldn't see autism as a drawback, but flipping it on its head and seeing it as an asset, that is very suspect within this government's ideological agenda. Like I said before, it's treating autism as a cash cow for profit. And with the caveat, of course, not so subtle, really, when you look at it, that if you can't make a profit, you are not an asset. You are only an asset if you can make a profit. Now, James Cusack, Chief Executive of Autistica, which is a UK charity, autism research charity, has said that he wanted to see a doubling of the employment rate for autistic people by 2030. We are delighted to support the government. This is a vital review which will enable us to move from awareness to evidence-based action, Cusack said. And by the way, there's been a lot of angry reaction to this, that Autistica is allying itself with a government renowned for cutting disabled people's vital support structures. There has obviously, quite rightly, been a massive backlash against this. People disowning Autistica. Cusack himself happens to be autistic, but he's obviously doing pretty well for himself. And he's obviously forgot his bearings, and yeah, it's just not good. Autistica replies by saying that they're a charity that will work and support any government, or work alongside any government. That's what they say. So, a political claim. Of course, it's not possible to be apolitical. The person is political, the political is personal. Politics is everywhere. You cannot divorce yourself from politics. You cannot use that as an alibi to get away with what they're doing, which is allying themselves with a government intent on destroying disabled people's lives. Now, Tim Nichols from the National Autistic Society came out with a little bit more sort of nuanced line, or rather not quite as brazen. He said he welcomed the review, but he said it must come alongside proper funding for a plan to improve autistic people's life chances, better understanding of autism in the workplace could transform autistic lives, he said. And then Buckland goes on about how we must not deprive employers of the known benefits of a neurodiverse workforce. Employers need to stop seeing autism as a drawback and recognise it. NASA has already said that. And they're working with a charity, Autistica. Having more autistic and neurodiverse people in work will make our employment market an even richer and better one. Of course, goes without saying, only if you have the right type of autism. Clearly not my type. Because I cannot be milked for profit because I'm too, I've got too many things going on, unfortunately. So no value there. I'm not productive. I'm just a useless eater, according to the Tories. So, if you can't be milked for profit, you can bugger off. Is there a line? We're just going to take away your benefits and make your life shit. Never trust a Tory. It's very ideological. So it's at the heart of transforming future support. At the heart of transforming future support, the recently published Health and Disability Right paper is... At the heart of transforming future support, the recently published Health and Disability Right paper is the recognition many disabled people are being disincentivised to work by the current system. So that's very ideological. It's all in there, disincentivised. You can see what the Tories are trying to do. There is this whole idea that people are basically scroungers, and this whole idea that they're disincentivised, that they're just lazy and layabouts and need a good spanking, basically. It's the carrot and the stick approach, isn't it? There's the carrot. We'll try and make workspaces more accommodating. Remember, this is all within the confines of capitalist systems, so you're not going to overreach themselves too far. But, we can look like we're doing it. That always wins us brownie points, kudos, election votes, But the stick is we're going to make things even tougher and harsher for disability claimants and things like that. Because they mustn't be disincentivised. Oh no. Classic scrounger rhetoric there. You don't need to look too far to see it. So this is why we're going to be introducing new employment programmes such as universal support and work well. It sounds very Orwellian, doesn't it? Work well. Universal support. That sounds so great. It's very Orwellian. Double speak. That's where they'll be introduced. So let me know what you think. I just think this is just very suspect indeed. Actions always speak louder than words, and you can see the actions with people being forced into poverty. You can see the social care cuts. Actions speak louder than words. This Tory don't give a fig leaf about disabled people, and I just want to see the back end of them as soon as possible. But anyway, thank you for watching.